Ambassador, always good seeing you. Hamas, put the kibosh on these talks, essentially, right? What happened?
Well, they refused again. For the fifth time, we have negotiations. The U.S. is putting a lot of effort. President Biden spoke with the Qataris and the Egyptians and with us, right. But they reject. I don't think they really want an agreement. Their agreement is the destruction of Israel. And every time we make more compromises, they say it's not enough, we want more. They try to blackmail because they know we hope and we pray to see the hostages coming back. But we have to realize they're not really negotiating with us. I think they are buying time. That's why we have to continue with the military pressure to put them to a point that they will have no other option.
Is it your sense, Ambassador, that a ceasefire deal, and that's a big leap just to get to that, means Iran is less likely to conduct this, promised retaliatory attack, or that Hamas or Hezbollah or even Houthi rebels in the area attacking shipping along the entire area, that all that would not happen because a ceasefire deal did?
Well, you never know. You never know with those players. They said that once there will be a ceasefire, both חיזבאללה and Iran, they will look for other ways to attack Israel. So it's not guaranteed. But we expect that to happen. But you ask yourself why חיזבאללה and Iran actually attacked Israel. Look at the map where Iran is and Israel is. Yeah. We have no border with the Iranians. We have no disputes about anything. And still they put all their money, all their energy in order to destroy and distract us.
What do you make of that? Because I don't know how this Hamas thing is going to work out. I do know that people have been at tenterhooks here waiting for Iran to do something, and as of yet, it is not. Now, there have been proxy attacks and Hezbollah, provocative actions, but nothing of substance yet. What are we to make of that?
Well, I think Iran knows that we are prepared. We are prepared with our defense systems, but also we have capabilities to attack back. And we don't advise them to try to see the might of the IDF. We don't have any dispute with them. We don't want to see any escalation. If they will attack us, we will attack them back.
All right, they must calculate that. And I was always thinking about when allegedly Israel was behind booby-trapping this Hamas leader's apartment. I know Israel has not connected itself to that, but it did beg an issue. How many other facilities in Tehran or elsewhere are similarly booby-trapped?
Well, as you said, we didn't take any responsibility for that attack. We took responsibility for attacks in Lebanon against terrorists who were responsible for killing hundreds of...
Why didn't you claim responsibility for this one? Because you're not responsible?
Well, I think they know that they are vulnerable. They know that there are people who can get to them in Tehran. Whether it's Israelis or somebody else, they have to think about that. But they know that, the same people who got to this terrorist, Haniya, can get to other terrorists also in Tehran.
It is fair to say that Israel has that capability of doing that anywhere to anyone, right?
Well, in the past, we took credit about killing terrorists all over the world.
Absolutely.
And we said very clearly, all those who were behind the attack on October 7th, we will get to them. They cannot hide. They cannot hide. We will get to them. We will make sure they will pay the price. Aniya was one of them. There are a few more, and we will find them.
I don't know if you had a chance, Ambassador, you're a busy guy, but to watch any of the Democratic convention, particularly Kamala Harris's speech last night, but she gave a rousing defense of Israel, much more so than her boss, Joe Biden. Of course, she does talk about wanting to make sure there's peace and security for both sides. You've heard that before, but it was a rousing defense, more so than we've heard, certainly from Joe Biden, not all the time. What did you make of that?
It's very important for us to see the bipartisan support for Israel. We need that. We see the amount of enemies coming against us. And every time we say to our friends in the U.S., we are fighting for you. It's the same war. We are fighting now the enemies of the United States. Look at the UAV and the drones that the Houthis in Yemen and the Iranians are sending to Israel. Neil, in 5 years, those drones can come to the shores of the U.S. Look at the technologies they develop. So basically, we are fighting those bad guys who don't like to see America, don't like to see Israel exist. We're fighting the war of the Western civilization.
You're back in New York again as ambassador. You know the geography here well. You know the time of year well. Kids are back at school. The protests could be on again. We saw a good many of them in Chicago. Are you worried?
Well, I make a distinction between a protest and a riot. And sometimes I think there is no line here. When we saw what happened in your capital, when the protest actually took the American flags and burned them and destroyed national monuments. That's not acceptable. I think you should draw the line between freedom of speech, which is legitimate also in Israel, but when somebody is attacking somebody else, when Jewish students are afraid to go to school, to university, that's not acceptable.
So when you hear Donald Trump say, if you're an American Jew and you are supporting Democrats, you should have your head examined, I'm paraphrasing, but that they have not shown any real loyalty to Israel, and by taking this position, they're exposing their own vulnerability. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that anyone in the U.S. should vote according to his values.
Right.
But we believe that the U.S. should be strong. Some people believe supporting the President Trump will make America stronger. Some people believe otherwise. We don't get involved in your politics.
Right, but and to be fair, he was talking in the larger context about supporting Jews supporting anti-Israeli protests. That was weird.
That's weird. I agree with that. But it's minor. You have millions of Jews here. You have small minority who take part in those demonstrations.
Fair enough.
Majority of the Jews are worried about what they see here.
Ambassador, be safe, be well. Danny Dhannon.